Hey there, good afternoon everyone. So I'm just going to sit down. So I didn't want to come out for a run today. I wanted to come out for a run, but I just didn't feel like it at all. You know when you just don't, you just don't want to feel the pain, do you? You don't want to go through the process. You don't want to take the steps. You know the steps you're committed to, right? And this relates to anything, doesn't it? It relates to getting fit, going for runs, getting jobs, sorting out your CV, anything like that at all, where there's a bit of a blockage, and you probably know the steps that need to be taken, but you're focusing on the pain. You're focusing on the process. You know your CV's rubbish, for example. I've seen so many people, I've done over 500 CV reviews now, and lots of people have said to me they knew their CV needed to be updated, right? It'd just been tweaked over the years. How many times do you get a role so you don't bother changing it? Do you just add that extra role to the top of your CV and that's it? And you don't bother going back and doing anything. You just put it off. I'll do it later. It's got me this job, so it's fine. So you think the problem is not your CV. But then, of course, you come up against the problem of when you're not getting put forward for roles or you're not getting selected for interviews. And it's the same with your health, isn't it? It's, if you put in the work of going out and doing the walks, doing the runs, doing the diet, all that stuff, but some of those things are not, when they're not habitual, they're painful, so you put them off, don't you? And you try and get the quick wins, the quick fixes. But one thing, as I often say, is if you want to achieve any goal where there's some sort of effort or pain or process that you're resisting, is to just think of that result. Think of that result that you could get, or that feeling that you will experience. So for me today, that was knowing that that I've done it, so there's that sense of completion, that sense of achievement, that I've committed to something. I came out only with a view to doing a couple of K. I've done 5K, but I stopped a couple of times. Didn't stop, I walked for a couple of 30-second breaks. But I did it, and in my head I'd already thought I'll do maybe 3K, something like that. So I surpassed what my original goal was, which was good. But if I'm honest with myself, it was always my aim was to do the 5K. Excuse me sniffing, I've just literally stopped. I'm a bit hot and sweaty. And I knew that if I did, even if I did 3K, I knew that I was going to feel great as soon as I finished. As soon as I got my breath back, as soon as I sat down or carried on walking, which I'll do in a minute just to warm down. And doing the 5K, even better, is like, once I got my breath back, absolutely buzzing, feel fantastic. You can just feel I don't know what it is, the endorphins, the oxygen, everything, all those things are, coursing through your bloodstream, through your body. And I feel fantastic. So I'm going to go for a little bit of a walk around now, pop to the shops to get a couple of steaks, and I'm going to really enjoy having the steaks and a nice glass of red wine tonight, okay? Because I was going to do that anyway. So that was another thing that motivated me. It was not just the feeling and the thought of achieving the 5K and of knowing that I'm going to be a bit healthier and a bit fitter by doing it. I didn't even think of that really. But I just thought, I'm going to reward myself with that steak and that glass of wine tonight. So you've got to try and use whatever you can to get you through it if you're resisting in some way. So if you're, resisting anything in your job searching, for example, then I invite you just to take a fresh look at what you're resisting, what you're avoiding. Because, like I say, I've reviewed over 500 CVs. Lots of people, I think, will admit that quite a high proportion of those people thought their CV was fine, and you've seen all the testimonial quotes because I put them up. They were most people have been surprised that I've just picked something that they hadn't even thought about. And then those people that went on to do the CV Express, where I'll give you 3 more bits of advice, they've then been blown away by the fact that there's 3 more things that they hadn't really even considered. And they've gone ahead and changed their CV with just those 3 things. And I mean, that's cheap as chips. CV Express is cheap as chips. So, I think for just getting that 3 pointers of where you could change your CV, just getting that different perspective, getting someone else to look at it. I've got 25 years experience of contracting. I'm not saying I'm the expert at anything. I'm not saying I'm an expert CV writer at all. But like I said, I've contracted for 25 years. I've worked all over Europe. I've worked in Australia. I've worked in Singapore, Hong Kong, all these different places, lots of different industries, banking and finance, stock exchange, health companies like Bupa, consultancy companies, lots of, banks and everything. So quite a wide range of experience. And I've hired people as well, and interviewed people. So I've got that sort of experience. And again, one of the things that quite a few people say to me is, I've had my CV done already. And I always inquire, who's it been done? Done? I don't think your CV's ever done, but who's it been done by? And 9 times out, so I'd say about 70% of the time they'll say a recruiter, or like a company that have helped them, not a professional CV writer. And then the other portion of people are professional CV writers have helped them. But lots of them, it's been recruiters or other people that have helped them. And I'm not saying they're bad at all, but some of them are bad. Okay, that is a fact, because I've reviewed CVs and changed CVs that some of these so-called CV experts have butchered people's CVs, I think. Or maybe they were terrible in the first place and they've made them better, but they still look awful. So just be wary of that. And if your CV's getting you good results and you're getting jobs, fine. What you won't know is having a better CV and a better LinkedIn profile, for example, would that have opened you up to having more CVs put forward for roles and then interview opportunities? Because you'll never know that, will you? So people who say, I've always got a job okay, well, you're never going to know if you'd have had more opportunities, are you? Because you've stayed where you are. You've stuck with that CV that served you well for the past X amount of years, and that's fine if that's okay. The danger of that is when the market goes tits up, and the roles aren't out there, or the roles are there, like we've seen with BA roles, project manager roles, stuff like that, where there's then 200 people going for the same job as you. All of a sudden, that CV that has served you well in the past might not serve you as well when stacked up against some of these highly polished CVs. So just keep that in mind. Please go for the free CV advice. I don't know, there's still people that say they don't need it. It's like, no one needs anything, right? It's free advice. I'm just trying to help people get more submissions, get more interviews, get more offers, so you can get off the bench and get yourself a role. So have a think about where you're resisting things in life, whether it's your CV, LinkedIn, interviews, job searching, getting off your arse and getting some job that you know you could do but you haven't been doing, or some productivity thing, or whether it's a health aspect. What steps can you do to go closer to your goal, but think of the feeling and think of the result, and let that help you, motivate you towards that goal from the other side. Anyway, I hope that's useful. I'm going to go get myself some steaks. See ya. Have a good one. Bye.